Okay, it says we're live. Good morning, everybody. I'm here in Flagstaff, Arizona. In case you weren't already familiar with my hometown, where I do these streams from. I saw in the chat we were talking about what time it is, where you live, and yep. I'm here with Mavis. Mavis is saying it's 7 a.m. That's it, 7 a.m. Arizona time. I got Jonathan on board here. He's going to help me this morning. Hi, Jonathan. We're looking at you. Let's get your audio on.
Hey, Joe. Hey, everyone.
Hey, all right. We got Jonathan here. And he's going to help me, but he has to leave early. And so he's got somewhere to be. You got special plans today, Jonathan?
Got it's my son's birthday, and for his birthday, he's doing a 5K run with all his
5K, nice. All right, that's cool. All right, well, I hope that he wins it, right? Because that's the point of running, is to win.
Yeah, all the time. If you don't come in first, you might as well not try.
Good philosophy. Good philosophy. Let's see how that translates into our work day. Might as well. Yeah. Okay. Sarcasm, in case that didn't translate for anybody. That is not to be taken serious. Okay. I was thinking for the subject today. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, if anybody wants to come on, see, it's very simple. If you want to come on and be my guest, help me co-host, all you got to do is just read be conversational. That's all it is, like Jonathan's doing. And so I just send you a link, and it just is a video call. That's all it is. It's a video call right here. You'll join us. Jonathan will exit. No pressure, but I don't have anybody when Jonathan leaves, so I'll just be going solo if nobody's up for the task, which isn't terrible. So don't feel pressure. Just letting you know that the position is open and it needs filled. All right. Jonathan, you've got it from here on the chat. I'm going to look at my painting instead of trying to read the tiny words on my computer. And what we're going to do is small paintings. So we did this special event on last Friday. And it's the first Friday of the month art walk in my town. And I was doing paintings this size live, and it took about 15 minutes to do them, and they were just selling off. That it was the sweet spot of practical spending. So I was just selling them for $25, an amount that there's a big population of people that are interested in spending that amount on a keepsake. And I thought, hey, this is valuable information for me. Now, I don't make my living selling canvases, so I'm going to zoom out from it. I don't make my living selling canvases, so it's not like I have a lot of stock in this, and I'm not trying to tell anybody to build a business on this. But hey, when we discover helpful things, I think it's worth sharing. And I found it helpful to see the difference in interest. So when I do big paintings, the interest level for purchasing those large paintings is pretty low. No matter how hard I try to do an amazing painting, selling canvases is something that only a small number of people do really well. That's just the nature of that trade. Because we all just don't have tons of room on our walls for the many, many artists that would love to be selling canvases. So by nature, it's something that only a few people can do super well. And so discovering that there's kind of a zone, a price zone, like a time versus price. That was the sweet spot where the balance was right. I don't have to spend a ton of time, and I also don't have to make a ton of profit on this canvas. So I'm going to show you the kind of paintings that I was selling, painting for 15 minutes, making $25. It was a pretty good deal. Yeah.
You haven't put a single drop of paint on that canvas yet?
I haven't put a single drop of paint, and I got this camera off. Look, black screen. Sorry about that. We got to turn that camera on. Here's my materials. I'm loading up my materials.
You have nothing on the canvas yet, and you've already got to sell. Someone's already asking. They say, "I'll give you $25. I want whatever you paint right now."
Okay. I'll mail it to you, but you gotta pay for shipping. Unless you're in Arizona, you can come pick it up. I would love that. Sold.
You've got a couple. You've got a couple sales. If you can do 2 of these in the time you're
Oh,
on the
we
show,
can do
you've got
2.
2 sales
We can
already.
do- Yeah, but I'll do you one better. Tell me what you want me to paint.
Oh, nice.
Because we don't have a
Back
plan
on
yet.
you guys.
Okay, so I was going to do something similar in my hometown. Flagstaff is where I live, so I was going to do something that looks like my town. I've got the shape of the mountain memorized. It's an iconic. When people visit our town, the mountain is kind of the single peak that's real stoic, stands up in front of the skyline, and so it's a memorable part of the town. So in souvenir shops, that tends to be a good keepsake. So I'm putting my primary colors, and I'm going to use my favorite 4, which is black, white, yellow, orange, and then I'm going to throw in some blue and purple to add some pretty winter colors. And then that should be all I need for a very quick painting. All right, we're gonna shoot for 15 minutes, but I'm also being chatty here, so we'll see if I can. We'll see if I can do
You
it.
got to figure out how to work the chat into your pricing.
We're good. Well, how do you mean? How would you work the chat?
That piece I bought from you would have, you'd had to tack another 5 hours onto the cost of the painting. After
Because
the
it
chat.
costs. Because talking with me costs. Is that what
Well,
you mean?
Talking about the amount of time we spend.
Yeah.
If you're, this 15-minute painting, that how many minutes into it are you already?
Right. You got to charge for that.
It's now a 17-minute painting.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. Okay, hang on. I forgot the most important aspect of doing a painting, and that is the brush. Hang on. I gotta grab my brush.
I think we're okay with finger painting today, Joe.
Yeah, we could. These quick paintings can do that.
Snaketh one that said they already want to buy your painting asked if you can make a pug painting of sorts.
Pug, like the dog? Pug?
I think that's what they're asking.
Yeah, we can do a pug. For sure we can do a pug. Okay, now keep in mind it's a fast painting, but look, we can do a pug. All we got to do is get an inspiration photo, okay? So, Jonathan, we're searching the internet here. I was looking at panda bears. I got panda bears on the screen because I was doing a panda bear project for a Christmas present. We're going to search pug. Let's do cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's really the main reason people look for a pug. Nobody gets a pug for practicality. Okay. It's for cuteness sake. All right. Do we have any votes on the kind of pug picture here? Pug playing a ukulele. How about that? Is that cool? Not bad. That's a cool vest. Look at that. That's very clever. Makes it look like it's playing. It's like those Halloween outfits that make it look like you're riding something. Puts fake legs coming out of your shirt. Yeah. I don't think that's an AI image. I think that's a real outfit.
That's good.
Okay, that's an option. All right, we could do something just handsome and stoic. Hang on, let's move you out of the way.
Said the middle Amazon one. I think there's one at the top.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked this image. Let me get off that. Let me close out that window then. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, and middle Amazon one. Is that what you said?
That's what Sneaketh one says. Let's see what I didn't see it. So
okay. We're on it. We got latency, so we'll back up a little bit and see what we're doing. Cute pugs. We're gonna paint a pug. I don't see anything from Amazon.
Look at that one. Them hanging from the clothesline.
That's a pretty great picture. I'm gonna make you
called that one out to begin with.
You know what? I'm having a problem with you being in my way, Jonathan.
Actually, you've got a few people saying, "Yeah, paint that."
Okay. The one on the clothesline?
I think that's the one they're saying. They like the cute little
just hanging them out to dry. You know how you forget to remove the money from the pockets of your clothes? They forgot to remove the dog.
You forgot from the pocket of their clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. You want to paint that picture? Is that the official vote? Is that what we're
You know,
doing?
it's hard to tell for sure just based off of the comments.
Yeah.
That's the one they were talking about. They said
Right.
third row, last one, bottom right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's give it to. There's a little bit of latency. Let's see if that's the vote. We have other options on here. Boy, that's going to be a challenge paying those in 15 minutes. But anything can be done. You have to strategically pick your details. I'm going to show you how to do that. Here's a fun one. Here's a little double shot of some baby pugs. I like this one. It's a twofer. We got two little wrinkle
hands in there
faces.
though, and arms on the canvas.
Oh yeah, you can do all that stuff. You just have to not get obsessed with the details. You get a few strokes to get the idea across, and you just leave it. That's the idea.
Go back up just one row.
Okay, we're going up a row.
Work on the latency thing here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think they're asking for the Pig Boss Pug Diamond. I don't know.
Oh, the big face. It's just a big pug face. Just a cute pug face. That's what we're looking at. Pig Boss Pug.
There we go.
No,
Finally, we got it. They confirmed. We finally got the one they're talking about. You were gonna do pugs hanging from a clothesline, and what they wanted was cute pug face.
Okay, cute pug face. So we're talking, Jonathan. We're talking about this one here, right? Is that it? Is that the one?
I believe so.
Single cute pug face portrait. Okay.
Man,
All
I
right.
led you to the wrong Amazon image there, Joe.
No, that's good. It's worth taking
now.
time. And this is important to do. If this was a real commission job, well, I mean, perhaps it is. But when I do mural commission jobs, the conversation before the job starts is very, very important, because you can very easily have misunderstandings. So you want to take time, really take time. All right, there's our inspiration photo. I believe it's a real photo, but it definitely, these days, there's a lot of AI, but based on the choice of reflection in the eyeballs, I'm going to judge that is a genuine photo of a pug, and the absence of super slick highlights and coloring accents. All right, we ready? Let's paint a pug. Here's how you do it. Let's zoom in. So we're doing fur in this one, and to do fur, you need to make sure you put color in the transition. Sorry, when I zoom that camera, I have to walk up there and do that. It might go out of focus a few times when it's just a white canvas, but it's doing pretty good so far. Okay, let's do a quick sketch. Let's do a little bit of black. So I'm going to dip in my black, just the little point of this brush. I got lots of water on it, very watery paint. And we go up here, and we're going to put the face in here like this. Okay, you can see which part of the dog I'm doing. Right, whoops, wrong camera. You can see which part of the dog I'm doing right there. That's the snout. When I'm doing animals, people, yeah, pretty much just animals and people, I like to separate these things. I like to get the snout, think of the snout, nose, mouth, and how far it sticks out, what the geometric shape of it, it's usually, like a basic shape that I can remember. And I like to position that whole piece appropriately with the eyes. Now that is as opposed to approaching it as eye, nose, mouth, separating all those things. I like to think of the snout as one shape because it helps me capture the character of the subject. But we don't need to copy this. This is a simple thing. So let's do a snout real quick. Okay. So I'm going to be looking over to the left. I won't keep switching the camera, but I'm going to be looking over. Let's see how black and white does. If I do this snout, we're going to go like this, put some dark colors on here. I like to use the long end of the brush like this. And most of my strokes are this way, like if we did the little curve that's going to be the eye wrinkles, I just pull the shorter bristles, push on the longer bristles. There's something about the way that it controls that I like it. I have control on the brush strokes. Okay. So the key element to a small picture is leaving it to imagination. Let's make this bigger. I just decided we're going too small. Okay, snout is going to take up almost half of the picture. All right, here we go. We're going to go like this. And we're going to put a nose right in here. So now we're going to put white while the paint is still wet. There's plenty of paint on there. And I got these little shapes in here. I got one here, a downward line, a little curl. There. There's a nose. See that? How I did that? We're going to, whoops, wrong camera. Okay, there's the nose. So paying attention to negative space is a real helpful thing. Like, what is the shape of the highlight? What is the shape of the shadow? I'm always looking at that. And it's easy just to get something on there without being a perfectionist, then fine tune it later. Okay, so we've got this gray color. It works out nicely. I'm going to go over it a couple times to get it to be not quite as light, you know. So I might want to pre-mix a gray for future applications. Okay, here's my nose. And this is going to have kind of a messy style to it. I'm going to try to change your mind about wanting to purchase this. All right, we're going to put some lines coming out from this snout like this. Okay, plenty of black on here to get this snout. Then I'm going to put the lines of where the whiskers kind of fall into place. We got a few wrinkles coming this way. You go over them enough times to soften them, but not to completely blend them together. And you know, this is making my job easy. This part, because I'm not needing to add a third transition color, because the black and the white are getting a color similar to what I'm seeing. I might want to. I might want to premix. You know what? Now that I said that, I feel like I'm going to change my mind. Okay, if you look at this, yeah, I talked myself out of it. Okay, so if we look at this closely, we can see a whole lot of stipple texture in there, and I think that light color is a lot more purple-ish than what my gray is mixing. Now, as a general rule, I'm going to go off this. See this one over here in the corner? Do you see, like, if you just kind of look to the side of something, I think you see the colors better. Something that I think is a good trick. It might work for you, might not. But when you want lifelike colors to really capture the lighting of something, noticing this really counts. So this is much more of a blue-violet, those light, where I would be just using gray. And a lot of the time that can trick you, because you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to add white colorless glare, when it actually has a distinct color. So I'm seeing a bit more of the purple color in comparison to what my paint is doing. And even if it's not there, I know it'll look good, because in general, reflection kind of tends toward a violet color when it's like white light bouncing off of things. So it's just a general rule. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make my highlight. I'm going to pre-mix a highlight color that's a little more on the purple side. And that's my reasoning there. So let's go over here. And this is going to be a redo. Okay. It was fun. It was fun. This is an experiment. Okay. We're going to just flatten that out. It'll dry in just about 30 seconds. And then we're going to go down here and pre-mix a highlight color. So we'll take some of this white right here, and we'll put a little bit of purple in it right there. That's just pure primary purple. And then we'll put the black in as well. And this will make my job easier. It's not pure white, so I won't have as streaky of a texture where the extreme differences are noticed. Go like this.
So what would you say the ratio there was? If you put that in numbers, how much purple did you add to the white?
I would say that it's at, like, the purple is probably a 20, the black is probably like a 20, 20, 60, you know, white being the 60. I did purple and black in pretty equal amounts. Here, let's put a little more white in there, just so I have a larger amount of paint that won't start drying on me. White, you know, adding dark with paint, dark colors tend to really influence a mix extremely. you know, you put a dark color. I would say more so with oils than with water-based though. All right, there's my cut. Let's put it on the canvas and test it. Let's see what this looks like. I like that. I like that pretty good. See how that has a little bit more of a, when you see it against this white, it has a little more of a purplish look to it. I might add just a little more, just for because the effect is not bad, you know. And with painting, whoop, I keep going to the wrong canvas. Let's see just a little on the corner of the brush. That little bit will be plenty to influence this color.
I think you've said before that people care far more about the feeling that a painting creates than how realistic the painting is.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to get colors that trigger imagination to fill in the blanks. Power of association, right? It's like a pleasant dream. You don't need all of the details. You just need it to not send wrong messages, right? You're just trying to say, wouldn't it be cool? Okay, let's start over. We're going to put black on the snout. We're going to do that kind of upside down heart shape right here. And I'm going to try to get the nose down in just a couple strokes like I did that first time. My hands aren't super steady. Second pass over this is going to dry faster, but I'll put it on nice and heavy. Okay, now here's my gray instead of my white. Okay, then we're going to go like this. Then we're going to go, oh, I missed that. Okay. All right, there's a nose. And, you know, I definitely missed that the first time. Here we go. That lined it out better. There's our nose. Now we're going to take a few lines like this. And, you know, do a few like this, a few like this. Now, I'm not going to be a stickler with the details on this just yet, because I can always come back and address those things. I want to see my result after I do an amount of work to see what actually needs attention, because it may be that imagination fills in the blanks just fine and it doesn't need more attention. So I don't want to spend details prematurely where they're not needed. But I think it would be cool if I got a little bit of stipple effect for whiskers. So I'm just going to dab this. Just dab my spots that are on here.
Leanne Triple says, yep, I think that color is better. I see it's a cooler gray than it was before.
Yeah, however you want to describe it. I added some, I didn't end up adding blue, but I would say the black kind of has a blue, you know, in comparison to other colors, it can have a very bluish look. Okay, so all this is just
cool, can't it?
That's it, yeah. So I just stippled over. I just did light touches to grab the wet paint and make it more, you know, more whiskery, more whiskery. That's the stipple effect. Okay, we need this. I'm going to two-hand it so that I can get this shape. Okay, there we go. The nose hole. All right, now we're going to do the upper portion of it. We're going to need orange because we've got some transition to do. We're going to do this, and we're going to go fast and put some yellow. You can see there's a good amount of yellow. So a general rule, it's just going to transition toward yellow as it gets brighter, toward purple as it gets darker. Never reaches yellow, never reaches purple. Those are just the directions. So I'm going to put my deeper gold color on there and start doing this. Start doing this eye. So let's put orange, then let's put yellow, where we're going to have this eye. And we're going to keep moving quick because it's hard to get shapes when you're looking at a blank canvas, hard to identify where they are. So you just put your first, whatever your instinct leads you toward. It could be inaccurate, and that's okay, because the more you get on there, the easier it is to course correct. So we just do a first pass here, and I'm doing the shapes of the wrinkles on the head. And, you know, I've got this darker orange line separating these light spots right here. And then I'm going to go lighter and yellower. here in the middle of the head. Got a nice kind of V shape. I think I passed the 15-minute mark, but you know,
let me check in on that for you. It's,
yeah,
if I can get
It's
a
okay.
timestamp. Yeah, I think
It's
you're
okay.
at the 20-minute mark, and that doesn't count the 4 minutes of chit chat at the beginning.
Oh, you're killing me. Okay. Okay, we're gonna put these wrinkles in place, and I kind of like this messy feel that it has, and you know, that's what you want to kind of celebrate in a quick painting. You want to celebrate that messiness, not try to hide it. Celebrate as in make it a feature of the painting is what I'm. You know what I mean? If we heard that expression before, it's not a problem, it's a feature. You know.
So
I don't know if
it
anybody's.
sounds like each brush stroke matters because you're going to have these big broad brush strokes you're not going to cover up later, so that the
Yeah,
shape of
yeah,
the
and
stroke
so
matters a lot more.
that's right. So I'm trying to recognize the larger shapes and do large brush strokes that just capture the essence of it, and just be okay with the inaccuracy. Okay, I'm gonna slam my brush
the
on
title
here.
for your
So
live stream is that this is small profitable painting. So if you're doing pugs for an art walk or some kind of show that you're trying to sell a bunch of these for a lower cost, would you do the same painting over and over to get
absolutely, yeah, that's it. Yeah, because the time, if I did this a second time, you bet the time is going to go down. Of course it is, because you're gonna not spend the time guessing where you're going to put that next brush stroke so much of the time. If we were to just review the footage and see where I spent the time, it's the decision making. It's not the actual brush stroke application. That's not where the time goes. So repetition is super helpful. All right, we're going to go like this. We're going to put a, you know, I feel like a purple and yellow would be a nice color for these. Here's some purple. Purple gets you a very tamed down version of that transition I was talking about. Like as it gets darker, it goes towards purple, lighter goes toward yellow. Well, if you just do the purple and yellow, when they mix, they totally neutralize each other to a brown, and it works out good for fur. It can be a nice trick. So this is an experiment. We're going to see what's better. There, that's the purple and yellow. Now I'm putting white where I have the lighter yellow color, because yellow is not the end goal. Go here, get those top of the head wrinkles, and those go across here. Boy, we got a wrinkly face starting to show.
RN Chimiller is pointing out that there's a wrinkle above the nose that's important for the expression on the pug.
Ah, yeah. Okay, good call. Let's get that in there. Let's put the dark wrinkle there. Let's put the light. Let's borrow some of this. Let's go like this. We got some light color there. Actually, we didn't have light color there. We have dark color right there. I'm looking at it. We got to get that wrinkle. Okay, and it's got to be dark. And you are right about that. That is really important for the expression. So let's put some black right across the top. Right here. Yeah, so if you do this a few times, you would just go right to these lines, just like you're doing a letter of the alphabet. You just put them in. See, I started this live stream thinking I was going to be painting mountains and trees, but I always love a spontaneous challenge. So you see, you got me.
You've seen what we can do on spontaneous, though. We can really get you off track. Yeah,
and I like that. It something about the whole practice of it is entertaining.
Your forest going up in flames, that was spontaneous.
Yeah, that was spontaneous. Okay, here's the stipple to get the look of short fur. We're going to stipple that into the wet paint right here. You don't want to stipple it too many times or you lose your texture. There we go. You know, doing this kind of like deeper, shallower, deeper, doing a 3D texture. I would say that my learning grounds was doing rocks rock landscapes and trying to get the crevices and the highlights to look right, I would say rock landscapes are what helped me with that, because I found that if you start with the dark shadow and bring the highlights up to the edge of that dark shadow, you get a real nice 3D gradient. Okay, so that's the technique I'm using for the wrinkles on pug face here. Okay, now we're going to do this. I'm doing the left eye. We're going to go here, and we need this wrinkle to go up here. And now it's showing me that I put these wrinkles a little bit low. It's showing me that, so that's okay, because we just put them there so that I have something to measure against. Now we're going to go black right here, because I see this patch shape right there coming off the snout. And so I'm going to go like this, and we're going to bring it down to here, but we want to leave that light color. Let's just kind of borrow some of this. Well, we'll use my easel down here to get some lighter color. Here's my yellow. Let's use yellow and orange to get a lighter fur color, because I kind of lost it in here. Don't. So, you know, when you're doing a animal, working more saturated than what it kind of feels intuitively like you should is real good practice, really good, because mixing, you do a lot of mixing when you're trying to capture fur, and mixing makes color turn gray. So as a general rule, I go to my canvas with very saturated colors. So that fur intended to look like this was intended to end up looking not too colorful. But when I start, it's kind of a primary-ish kind of color. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put this black in, and then I'm going to look at my fur directions. Okay, so I'm looking at this eye, and I see fur directions going, kind of swooping in right here. I'm going to try to get that look, because I think it's a good little piece of the expression. We're going to put my orange, my little bit of yellow in here.
Augustus, I don't know how to pronounce this, Bucci, Bucci art. I've noticed many artists are preferring to break up the colors, painting everything with neutral and cool colors.
Yeah, and I like to go real primary, because it's very easy to lose color in a picture. So I like to start strong so that I don't lose as much. Okay, there we go. I was just trying to capture the essence of this little shape here. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We've got an eye in here. I'm going to use the same reflection color for that eye. Let's do the circle eye. Now, reflections, don't be intimidated by reflections. You're painting a landscape inside of a circle. So we're going to do this. You're going to do whatever light is near the top, and that can have all kinds of gradients. So the key component is that you're squishing an environment down into a small space. So just some lighter color that's got some blended gradient. There's not right and wrong places to put it. So, you don't want to get too intimidated by that. All right, so we've got a circle. Let me go a little bit higher with my circle. We're going to go up here. Right there, make my circle. Okay, then we're going to do a little line right here on the edge of the eye. Let's get a little bit of that doggy eyelid right there. And then we're going to put a little bit of a reflection down here as well. Get that bottom spot. And then pure black. I want nice dark black to look like reflection right in there. See, and that gives me a nice glassy looking eye. Now a little dot of pure white goes a long way. You can put it anywhere, but you kind of want to do it similarly on both eyes. So if I put it in this spot, because lights can be anywhere in a room, there can be more than one. You can make a real reflective look this way. Okay, I've got one eye. Now I'm not even going to look at the picture. I've got the one. I'm just going to do the other similar to it because I don't need to copy that photo. I'm just using it to understand what a pug looks like. So let's get my
That second dot of light just change. I think that's the requirement for a cute painting of an animal is that you have to have that second dot of light.
that's
There we go.
that's it. Yeah, right. Good observation. This
I mean,
is
think about like anime or any of the
totally.
cartoons that are illustrated. Those eyes are always like very simple, and it's one big dot of light, another small dot of light, and that's almost the whole.
Totally, they're trying to capture the essence of what makes it cute. Yeah, that's the truth.
That's cute. You have 2 dots of light.
So here's my black patch. Now I'm going to swoop into the. You know, it might have been better in hindsight if I did that last. Oh well. Now I'm going to do my orange and maybe a touch of yellow to get a brown that kind of swoops into this black. Right here, we're going to go swoop in that way. We're going to swoop in this way, and I'm doing it in this direction to capture the fur growth. Like this. Okay, now I'm going to get some white and go right over that more orangey color. Oops, got junk on my brush. Let's get a little touch of yellow in here. There we go. There's our white color. Bring it in this way, like this. Right there, bring it in here. Oh, I hear noise. Is it time for you to go, Jonathan? Is it that time?
Getting close.
Okay. Well, thanks for your help this morning.
You're welcome. You've got positive feedback in the chats, just in case I can't fill you in.
Okay,
later.
nice. Thanks. I appreciate
If someone wants to buy your art, should they email joe@muraljoe.com?
That's it. Just send me an email. But this one's $25 plus shipping. That's the deal. Okay, now we're going to put the fur on the pug right here. Orange, yellow. Let's get a little bit of our light colors. Dab it in here. Dunk, 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 dunk. Boy, it's a steal, isn't it? This is it. The live show should be where I do all of my paintings from painting sales.
Do all your commission work on
Yeah.
here.
Okay, let's do the other eye. That eye was fun. We're gonna go like this.
Yeah, the next time I buy a painting from you, I'm just gonna come on here and get the $25 version.
This is the place to do it. Maybe that could be our theme. Maybe we could just start doing painting sales right off of the live show. But they would all have to be in the speed format. We couldn't do like the real big detailed ones.
Yeah.
But it's funny how there's a place for those, but it seems like there's more magic in the simple things. It's just the way it is. Oh, I'm noticing that the whites of the eyes. I wonder if I should do the whites of the eyes on pug.
No, they do have that because their eyes kind of bulge a little.
Yeah. So notice that the whites of the eyes are not as bright as the reflections. So you want to keep that in balance when you're doing eyes. You want to make sure that the white. So I can just use this same color. And, so there's just this little strip that's maybe the whites of the eye going around, but I want to make sure that it doesn't outdo the reflection right here. That's it. So I'm just going to make the brush stroke go over it enough times. And, it's just an impression, So we'll just do a little brush stroke, call it good. Boy, that one's got, it kind of gives them those cute buggy eyes that it goes all the way around, huh? We can go all the way around with this circle.
I think it's going to make the difference between it being a pug or not a pug.
Yep. It's got the crazy eyes. Man, they are funny. Okay. Black to get that reflective look. High contrast gets that reflective look.
Tom He's wondering, no brown in the eyes. I don't know if surprised.
That's a good observation. There is some brown in my photo. Perhaps that would look good. Yeah, if you zoom in on this, you can see some brown. So good call. Let's put it in. Here's how you put brown in eyes. Real simple. Just get orange, add orange to the black. Like this, pure primary orange.
Oh, there's that ring of brown. I didn't even notice that until they pointed it out.
Right, and you know, people who really like pugs, that's probably a feature you don't want to leave out. They like the brown in the eye. So
it's kind of a glowing
yeah.
brown.
So look, it's just a smile right through the black with orange, because the orange mixes with the black and makes a brown. So you just get an orange on the brush and you just do a little smile right through there, and then you got the brown in the eyes. Like that, we get the color. All right, now we're gonna put the black ears in place. Let's put some black ears in. Let's do this. Remember, brush strokes are a feature, not a problem. So you can go like this. Not going to get too obsessed with blending. Not too obsessed, but maybe slightly. Okay, we're going to use our colors. Orange goes to the edge of black, then yellow goes to the edge of orange. Then we have a brown that's going to take nicely to the white to give us a fur-like color. There we go. And then we get a couple wrinkles in the top of the head going like this. And that color kind of comes here. If it looks a little bit greenish, so whenever you get greenish, you can just add, well, in this case, orange is good because it'll turn it brown, but purple always takes away green if you end up too heavy on that. Okay, let's put the white in here. We're going to take fur and just kind of, maybe it's premature to start doing little detailed fur strokes. 1 minute. There we go. Put some of that in there like this. Just a little stroke on the black. Okay, let's do some more black here. We're going to go like this. Do this other ear coming out this way. I'm looking at this picture. The ear kind of lays down on the side of the head. It's cute how it does that. We're going to go maybe right there. I'll just get rid of that stroke. You know, that stroke is too far, but I'll get rid of it. Okay, I'm going to do this. And we're going to put a stroke of fur coming down the front of that. Both of these ears have this stroke of fur. So I'm going to put a brown in here that goes, that's the front edge of the ear. And it's not orange, but see, this is the workflow to get that furry look. We transition from the black to the more orange, and then I'll put a more yellow, and then I'll put the white on top of that. So now we get this little bit of yellow on top of those. See, there's a little bit of yellow here. And you need sound effects. It helps you do better. Okay, put a little bit of yellow in there, and then a little bit of white. Go right here. Then a little bit of
people
white.
Are going crazy over your painting here. They like Tom Heaney said.
Do I need to change careers and be a animal portrait artist?
Some people, you know, they call themselves a dog mom or whatever. They love their animals like.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, it's an important piece of a family, the dog. You know.
I think a painting is a good way to capture an animal. You can capture more personality and action in it.
Yes, exactly. It kind of celebrates those features that we love about it without analyzing all the little details, you know. It's like it just does those. Yeah, exactly. The geometric shapes that we like. I wanted to get that shape smoother because I like that S-shaped swoop of the ears here. Okay.
I'm going to change this quote a little bit, but Tom Heaney says that their favorite child was their dog.
Okay.
Or what they actually said was, my dog was the child I liked.
Nice. I know that feeling. I understand that. Your kids, they hit a certain age and you're like, hey, whatever happened to dad's always right and he's the hero and all that stuff goes away. And you're like, the sour part of parenting happens at some stage. Maybe not the same season for everybody, but they're definitely, because you're a parent. It's not always beautiful and magical, right?
It's not always.
Not always, although sometimes.
Middle of the night, you're ready to sleep, and a child can't sleep, and all of a sudden you're not going to sleep anymore either.
Yeah, and you're like, time to get in touch with the real world, my child. You're going to have to cry this one out. Society is not going to come to your aid every time you hurt, so it's time to train at home. Don't you wish parents really did that today? I feel like every little whim of a baby gets met. Training them that they're entitled to instant gratification.
Or instant relief in this case.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's just, it could be either. But such a valuable skill to understand. So I've seen little babies that have been adopted from places that don't have as much immediate care. Like, it's not as guaranteed. So there's no room for entitlement because not even all of them live to see their third year. You know what I mean? And I've noticed the dispositions can be very calm. Can be. I'm not making any absolute rules. And so I'm not trying to say be hard on your kids, but there's definitely great value in understanding that coping with discomfort is really valuable. It's not a bad thing. Like, we need it. It makes life better, in my opinion. As a parent, I always felt like that was important. But you want to balance it because love and affection are also very important.
Yeah, I'd say I feel like there's so much discomfort in the world. I just try to be the place of love for my children. I'm not sure how good they'd say I do at that, but I try to make that my focus. They're going to have plenty of discomfort in life. It's just going to happen. So, well,
wouldn't you say that? I mean, isn't it fair to say that sometimes love looks like displeasure? You're like, I know you don't like this, but it's for your own good. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
I wouldn't sacrifice their well-being in order to make it look like I love them even more. Like, that is part of love. Teaching them the lessons, teaching them what to do, how to handle things. Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you one thing I learned about parenting. As soon as you start talking like you understand it, you get some humble pie. Humble pie starts coming your way. Yeah. Okay, now we're doing the bun. We have humble pie like every night.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. I can't help. Sometimes you get in trouble sharing your opinions, but I can't help. As you know, I come from kind of a philosophical family, and we're always trying to just figure out those riddles in life. Like, how do things work? It's kind of the theme. All right, here's a black stroke to go on the bottom. I'm going to try to be more refined with this shape now. So we're just going to do like a little curve here. Then we're going to do the chin right here. Then we're going to do this chin right here. Pugs have multiple chins.
3 or 4 chins. You gotta.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
Chins under there.
my black hit white, so I'm gonna need a little bit of brown. I should have pre-mixed a brown for transitions. I didn't do that. I'd be going faster if I did. That's okay. This one's gonna work. Okay, black in there. Okay. And then let's put black in here.
Snaketh realizes the steal that they're getting today because your 15-minute painting is a 1-hour painting.
Yeah, that's it. But it's all chatty. We're chatting it up.
But that's what I said. You got to charge for the chat time too.
Yeah, I got to charge for the chat. Okay. There we go. So now we need to go abstract so that we can finish this picture. So we need some kind of a background in here. Let's do like I feel like something greenish would look nice and neutral in this picture. You know, like maybe it's a blurred out background of someone's yard or something. Just something really. And this pug is maybe dreaming that it's an outdoor dog when it never truly can be. You know,
Yep.
it's just not
I
in the
understand
cards.
the eyes now. It's looking outside, going, "I would love to roam those mountains."
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, yellow and black is a great green that you don't want to dominate a picture. You know, just put yellow and black on there. All right, we're gonna go here, and then this is the edge of the ear. Here's the white fur coming down right there. You know, let's just leave some brush strokes in there for giggles. It's kind of fun. Let's do that. Put the edge of the ear like that. And we got to make sure we paint the edge of the canvas. On a speed painting, you don't want to get caught trying to match the colors later. So when you get to the edge of the canvas, if you're doing something quick for profit, then you want to hit those edges when you get to them and just make it part of the process, because it's annoying when you have to go back and match those colors. Yeah, that's no fun. Okay.
Someone pointed out, and I've had the same thought as well, so I completely agree. Mavis says, I think the YouTube link is icing on the cake to go with the painting. I completely agree. I think having not just
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
all
sure.
this commentary and the experience of you doing it
Nice.
makes it even more. So
Yeah.
Maybe you should explore this painting an actual commission, doing it live.
Yeah, just doing everything live. There's just no such thing as doing things in private anymore. We're just gonna do it all live.
Tom Heaney has pointed out a couple times they're not quite at the level of artist that you are. They say they do a lot of corrections and correcting corrections, and you're just amazing.
Hey, thank you very much. You know,
they think what would help is if you sold MP3s of the noises you have to make while doing the painting.
That's a big component. You know, I think what the noises represent, you know, rather than truly say the noises are important, I think what they represent is that emotional state of being all in. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like you're just so excited by the moment, and I think our minds in a state of excitement tend to really absorb information. Right? Just a theory. Why perhaps I tend toward that.
Hey, I am leaving. Good luck.
Okay, Jonathan's got to go. Folks. It's been nice. Jonathan, thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe somebody else will feel brave and send me an email. Just send an email to share@muraljoe.com if you're interested. Otherwise, we can just do this. I'll read the chat. I'll do that. Okay.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Have a good trip. Okay. We're doing the top, filling in the background. Put that in there. And see the rest of this, it doesn't even need blended. You know, it's like the style of it, I think, is fun. But I probably will get this little bit of brown here and white, because I want to put some fur. I think this is a feature we don't want to miss. At the top of the head, those little white tufts of hair coming up at the top of the ears. So I'm going to just take the brush with that paint and just go like this. Just a little, like bending the handle this way to make that fur go up like that and leave those little wispies at the top. There we go. Let's put some white in there. Same thing. Okay, doing that. Boy, it didn't like do the little wispy blends like I thought it would, but we're just gonna settle for that. Maybe we're just gonna settle. Really like the look of that fur. Let's streak it a little bit like this. Man. Okay, we're going like this. All right. Let me get that green again. No, let's get the black. Let's get the black and get some brown. Right here, we'll put some of that transition color in there to get that. There's kind of a triangular shape where that tapers down the ear. The whole painting has to be done with this method of putting wet paint in place and then doing whatever little bit of blending I can manage in a few seconds and then settling for whatever comes out, you know. And I would say there's a lot of moments where it doesn't really go as planned, you know, and I just have to let it be. Uh-oh, hang on, folks. I realized I didn't plug in my laptop, so give me a second to plug that in here. We might lose the live stream if I don't get that. Where did I put that cord anyway? Hang on a minute. We might lose it. I've lost my cord. Where did I put that power cord? Right here. Let's see if I get it in time. Ah, we got it. Sorry about that. Hang on. Oh, it's not plugged in on the other end either. Let's go like this. Chunk. Ah, we got it. Saved the day. All right. Sorry. Oh, man. Okay. I'll zoom out for a minute because I want to see here. I want to see what's going on in the chat. We got all kinds of stuff going on here. All right, now, if anybody wants to hop on and oh man, watch it. Okay, sorry, I've got a distraction down at my feet. You did not see. I do not have a dog in my studio. You did not see this. It is not a Christmas present that I'm hiding in my studio for my family later. You did not see a dog. It's chewing apart one of my canvases, destroyed it at my feet. Oh, man. The whole time I've been painting, you see, I'm dealing with this distraction. It's so humorous that I was asked to do a pug, of all things, today, while this distraction is at my feet. Okay, don't tell anybody. It's a Christmas present. Don't tell anybody. I really don't want my 10-year-old watching this live stream. I'm going to have to make it private link. I'm going to have to take it off YouTube. Man, you heard the background noise, didn't you? It's like this painting has sound effects. What was I doing? Okay, if anybody wants to come on and moderate comments for me, then you can do that. I'm going to continue on this pug. Okay, so I want to continue my black and green background. You know, I'm just touching up little bits on here. I want to get this more triangular, not triangular. I want to get the shape of the top of the head between the ears. I want the look of the fur sticking up right there. It doesn't have to be real sharp details. It just has to capture the essence of it, right? Okay, let's see here. Hang on, I'm switching accounts on my machine here, and then I want to go to my cute pug dog as well. Okay, I'm noticing the ears kind of hang down a little more. Mine, they're sticking up pretty high. So we're going to take that green and we're going to drop it down. This is what's going to give me those sticky, uppy ears. When you're painting a cute dog, you can use words like that. Here we go. There. Now we got the white fur sticking up. That's good. Another thing we can do is we can bring that green background down onto it. We can go like this. We can go like that. There we are. Okay, now I need to fix a little bit of this, right? I'm kind of struggling here. I'm going to look over at my inbox. Okay, share@muraljoe.com. Send me an email if you want me to shoot you a link. Otherwise, I'm just going to finish this painting and we're going to have some fun with it. Let me go back over to my pug. And we've got to get this color. See how orange that came out. So, right idea, but just too extreme. So I'm going to take this picture. I'm going to take this color, not picture. And we're going to put my shadows in place. Here's some purple. And we're going to go, let me see, that goes right off this wrinkle here. And then it goes around and down. There we go. Purple right through that gold color. And then all I got to do is take some white and dab it in here. Like this. Yeah. Okay. And then little dabs like this, a little bit of stipple. Done. Okay. Now I got to do the other side. Okay. We're going to go. Oh, it's going to be too skinny. I feel like I made the eyes a little bit too close together. Okay. That was a good try, but well, let's do the other side first before I'm too hard on it. Okay. Orange, yellow. I'm glad the dog found a good toy there. Glad I found a good toy. I mean, what's a canvas? Okay, we're going to go up like this and go. And then it goes down like this above that dark brow. This is just purple. That's all it is. It's blended a little bit. It hits that gold color and just kind of becomes a shadow. Then we take white. Go here. Okay. Right in here. Let's blend that out. It's not terrible, It's not terrible, but I made this one go too far. This, we're starting to make it ugly. So redos are a good thing because if you're trying to develop a speed painting, you need to do it enough times that you can just go right to the right place the first time. If I was doing like a little mountain and trees, there'd be like no question. So there's no shame in coming and redoing my things in here because I'm actually learning the shape of a pug on this project. And that's really valuable if you're going to pump out a lot of these for a small profit or a good profit, really, Okay, there's my purple. I've relocated that wrinkle. Now I'm going to put the white in here. Right there. Let's dab it and get that. Here, let's kind of change the texture of the brush. It softens it all, those little dabs. Look at that. There, that's better. That's better. Let's get a little more of my white color right in the middle there. Pop it out a bit. There we go. I like that look much better. Now I need to address the, that little bit of brown that is up top right here. Always brown before black. This is most furry animals. You want to do brown before black. We put the black in right there where the brown, put orange if it's too green, You know, it's a little bit too much of a greenish brown. There's the orange. Let's put black. Then on the other side of that brown is where I put the white. You know, so then the white goes on this side. And this is how I get a nice furry looking transition for this little patch. There we go. Now, dab the brush a few times to get the stipple. This brush is working out good. I tried a new brush. These bristles are a little bit more springy than the usual, and the one that I have used before. I'm liking the way it resists flattening out. Okay, let's do that. Get a little bit more of our brown color in here. Dab in that black patch. Boy, I didn't know a pug had so many little details to consider. There we go. All right. I think we're close. I think we're close. I'm getting a little bit caught up in details. You know, I get excited about these things. Let's put a little bit of chin shadow. I like this shadow right here. Let's put a little bit of that in there and get some white fur. Get some white fur to go in here like this. Like this. I should zoom back in so you can see. Just doing brush strokes in the direction of the fur. That's all I'm doing. Okay. This way. There we go. We got a chin shadow. Looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that chin shadow. Let's bring that up here. Get some slightly more 3D form to our portrait here. And we'll take this white. Whoops, I got some black in there. We don't want that. Take this white and do this just because I saw a bright light on the side in the photo and I like the look of it. So we'll just kind of stick with that. There we are. Nice. Okay, that's my pug. That's my pug speed paint. Let's zoom in. There you go. It's got the googly expression and everything. Look at that. Look at that. It's not the worst. Not the worst pug I ever painted. It is the only pug I've ever painted. And, you know, it maintains a painterly look. You know, if you get too caught up on details that come down to like many strokes in one area, it has the look of being slaved over. It's not a matter of what the truth is. It's a matter of the look, the feel that it has. So if it looks like it's been slaved over, then it has a whole different vibe, you know. But if it doesn't look like it was slaved over, then, you know, you can have something that has a nice whimsical feel to it. You know, it's just, you don't want to rob away the reason people get paintings instead of photos. As I'm messing with the details further, I'm saying this. I like the dark shadows that are up in here. I don't want to miss this. Yeah, I like this dark shadow. I like that. And that's a nice accent to keep in there. That little spot. Then we'll just take this black and do a little stroke that goes choop. Like that. Make it look like fur. There. There we go. In all of its glorious imperfection. I still got to paint the bottom. Got to paint the bottom of it. We'll put that in there. Speed painting needs to have all sides. Well, I don't know what needs to happen, but I think I'll like it better if I get all the sides painted. We'll put the orange and the yellow on there, get a kind of brown fur color in there. match that color. Bring it up onto the face of the painting. Really make it have a finished feel here. Hey, that's not a bad look. The little bits of fur on the edge. Okay, then I need my green, black, and yellow. I'll just mix it right on my easel here. You did not hear a dog in the background. There is not a dog in my studio. That is not happening. You will not talk about it to anyone after you leave this live stream. You will not give away the secret. I'm just working on my Jedi skills. There. Now we got the edges painted. Even though it was the bottom edge, I still consider it an important edge on a picture. Dun, 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 dun. It's finished. Thank you, everybody. We painted a pug. And the time is 8:18. We still got a little bit of time to kill. So we do a little landscape. That'd be kind of fun. We got that. We've got that speed painting worked out right there. I'm going to take a moment and see what's happening in the chat. Thank you very much, Augustus. I appreciate that. Very nice of you to say so. And I'm just scanning the chat, seeing what people are saying. Where are you going to hide the puppy until Christmas? See, that's the thing. I don't know. This is a problem because this is Saturday and I can't spend the whole day here in my studio. People are going to wonder what's up. And and for all I know, my 10-year-old is watching this live stream right now and it's ruining the whole surprise. That wouldn't be typical. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I don't know where I'm going to hide it. I've asked, we got it on like a whim, on a moment's notice. You know, my wife goes down to Phoenix and it's like, we got this dog. So, man. All right. I'm going to have to make this video unlisted. See, if you have the link, if you want to rewatch this, copy the link because I'm going to have to make it unlisted so that, because I don't have a way to stop my 10-year-old. It's really about my 10-year-old not seeing. That's the main deal. He's going to love it. So I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. It's not terrible, though. It's not a terrible thing to have alongside while you're working. Okay, little munch. I'm reading the comments. Yeah, we got to keep it a secret for sure. All right. Let's do a landscape. All right. I don't see anybody chomping at the bit to come and read comments. And I don't see anybody hollering at me saying, answer me, answer me, answer me. Okay. We don't have no dire need out there is what I'm saying. And so what I'm going to do is give another example of a speed painting that's something that's familiar to me. So that was like, my first take on a pug. So you can do that same painting 5 times and, you get the method you're going to use down. Don't focus on details. Focus on getting the strokes that like just leading lines, the strokes that get just really, really basic. This still looks like a painting. And you're just, if you're a talented artist already, you know what I mean? And you're just getting the scale down to a point that is not too much labor for you, not too much cost for a potential customer. I thought it was a real interesting insight into my work. Like, that people are in the market to take those kind of things. All right. So why don't we switch gears here and do another one? Let's do another one. But you know what? It's not going to be this one. It's not going to be this canvas that, what's his name, made quick work of down there. You got to do something when your only thing that, it's not like, I try to be understanding. If all you had was a mouth to explore your world, you're just on 4 paws. It's not like you can grab things and do crafts and be interested. You got a mouth, and the mouth has teeth. It's like dogs got to have fun too, right? So I don't get too mad if it does that because it's not destructive. It's called fun. It's got to have fun. So we're going to just roll with that. It's a cheap canvas. All right, let's zoom in and do a quick landscape. So these are the kinds of things that that we're doing real well, selling off real well. And we could kind of use the essence of what I did on the last live stream to do a simple version, maybe minus the horse, right? I'm going to level this camera out. Forgive the autofocus. It goes blurry because it's autofocusing, but once I get up here and start painting, it'll stop doing that blurry in and out. I'll let it focus there for a little bit. Okay. So what do you say we do like a snowy sunset scene? That's something that I can whip out real quick. We can get this done in 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll be done with our live stream. We'll go white. Start a sky with pure white, and then you can fill in the details. You can put the sky in the negative space. So this has been something, over the years that I've discovered is really, really helpful. So let's put a gradient in there. Let's put brightest part of the sky left. So we're going to go yellower as it moves toward the brighter, and then we're going to go more orange as it moves toward the darker. This is a glow gradient. We'll just use some horizontal strokes, and then we just pull them together. And this is how we make a real quick sunset. I'm going to paint the edge of the canvas because I don't want to do it later. Like this. Now, Jonathan's gone. I can't read the chat while I'm doing this. And so if this is a painting you're interested in, then you got to just send me an email. share@muraljoe.com is the email. Send it there. Okay, there we got some clouds in there. Now I can put a sky in there with a little bit of blue. I'll add enough purple that my blue isn't going to turn green. It's got to have enough purple in it. So there's blue. It's going to hit that orange. Let's just do it down here. And, if that hits the yellow, it might turn a little bit green. I don't want that, so here's just enough purple to make that not happen. Okay, let's put a few strokes in here. I'm going to do it in the orange areas, like under the light areas. These will be maybe the bottoms of clouds or something. I don't know. Let's not think about it. How about let's just put little smaller shaped sky down low, more of them, smaller. And then we'll do like a larger patch up high. Yeah, see, and the sky can just go in between the clouds. We don't have to do the sky first and then add the clouds in. It's not necessary. Okay, now I'm just going to do some horizontal strokes to blend that all together so that it doesn't look like I tried too hard, Want it to have that nice whimsical look. It adds perspective by having the more squished down here. And perspective is a powerful thing. It's more powerful than the accuracy of details. If it just looks 3D, then imagination fills in those blanks. Then we can do some ice-covered pine trees. Let's do that. Let's take purple, blue, and we're going to do some pine trees going across a horizon here. Just some tree tops coming up. Like this. Let's do a bigger one here. More paint. We want plenty of paint because we want to be able to manipulate it. And if it's real light, if it's put on thin, then I'm not going to have a lot of ability to move it around, manipulate it as in move it around. Again, I'm using that long end of the brush. Right here. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Give me a second. I just realized something. I can send a text. I can send a text to my wife because we need to take care of something here. All right. We have a crisis on our hands. Okay. Don't let Zayden watch YouTube right now. Okay. Wait, hold on. Spelled the name wrong. It was a good try. It was a good try. Here, let's try again. Okay. I have to let her know. Don't let our 10-year-old watch. Don't let Zayden watch YouTube right now. Period. The dog is barking on the live stream. There. Send. Okay. Trying to do a little bit of damage control. You have a Christmas present crisis. Okay. So let's go back in here. Hopefully the paint is still wet. And we can manipulate it a little bit. We can stir in some white. So we have that dark blue in there. Let's get pure white and start putting. Now it's the purple in this blue that really makes this work. I want to stress that if you're doing snow, the purple is a big help. I'm going to flip the handle of the brush upward so that I get some diversity in the way the gradients kind of naturally fall when the paint hits the canvas. Move the brush around. And, it's going to leave some of the dark blue behind for deeper shadows. That's what's going to happen. There we go. And then we get some snow encapsulated trees, really. We got all kinds of snow in this scene. Like this. And I would say less is more in a painting, like the old saying, less is more. I notice when the handle of the brush is down low, kind of blobs the paint at the bottom of my brush stroke. Just one of the little nuances. Okay, purple and blue. Plenty of paint. Plenty of paint to move around there. Let's put a little bit more purple in here. Now we're going to get white, and we're going to do little bits of snow. Just primary color, that's all it is. So that color would be similar to if you have French ultramarine, purple blue, a purple kind of blue. It would be very similar to that. My mix of blue and purple is going to come out similar to a French ultramarine. It's a blue that's so purple it doesn't turn green when you add yellow. So blue violet, I guess is the technical term. Okay. There we go. We got some snow popping out. And I don't want pure white, is the importance of this all happening while it's wet is that it mixes together and I don't end up with white. Okay, now we're going to put some snow on the ground. So here's the fun part. Just bring that right up into there. And, more purple is wherever shadows start to look really turquoise, more purple solves that problem in a hurry. Okay, it's just a gradient. It goes up there, it's a gradient. Now watch, we get more white as we come away from those trees. We add more white. Make sure we get the edges of the painting right here. Speaking of which, I need to get the dark blue violet on the edge of the canvas. So let's get my dark colors, do my trees over here. Nothing to see here, just a little matching color to what's on the face of it. My big head's in the way, sorry about that. Put that on there. Let's get a little bit of snow on this tree. I think the artistically, the diversity of some of the blues being more turquoise and some being more purple has a nice kind of look to it, even though it may not represent reality as much. I do like the look of it. What? What are you barking at? Okay, like this. Okay, now I'm going to get something a little more orange. We're going to get some sunset snow in here. That's just pure orange. And then we're going to get lots of white. And then we'll make some shadows of trees. We'll aim kind of back toward the upper left, make some triangular shapes. I got to get this white enough first. I have enough white in it. This doesn't need to be a super bright color, just light enough that it looks lighter than my more purpley blue. Right here, let's get a light color. And we're going to make some shadows in perspective. Horizontal strokes going this direction. There we go. Just a very subtle effect. Yeah, I like the look of that. Kind of changing the layout of it here. Let's do another one here. Trying to get the angle just right so it looks like maybe the little bits of shadow coming from those trees, casting a shadow across the ground. Trying to make it look nice and long. There we go. And then it's always fun to have a water feature in a picture. So, we could put something in there, or we could do another big tree. We could do a water feature. We want some reason to look at the picture like this. A bit simplistic at the moment. So, what would be cool here? Let's put a little stream running through. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, little stream right there. So let's take purple and yellow. How about? Like this. Zigzag a stream, kind of goes back into the forest line there. And when it gets up into the foreground here, we're going to put some underwater colors. So we'll put yellow, we'll put black. We'll make it so that you can see some underwater-ish looking colors. And then that gradient, the horizontal texture and the gradient is where the magic happens. So after I get this purple neutralized with yellow, I'll have like a brown underwater color. The underwater color doesn't matter too much. It's just picking a color. It could be all kinds of stuff. But keeping that texture, very consistent horizontal texture, makes a big difference. Now I need sunset reflection, so we're going to get some orange and yellow, and we're going to make it nice and bright. So let's put plenty of orange, plenty of yellow. Don't be afraid to just clobber that canvas. Okay, and we're going to get some sunset. Here's some pure white to go with that. And horizontal strokes. This could be like a Friday night paint-along event you could do with your friends. It's real fun. We've done a handful of those. It's a good time. There we go. We got sunset on our little stream, a little babbling brook that really should be iced over. So we'll make it iced over. Then we're going to put the reflection of trees on there. So that's where we need our blue and purple in there. So this upper part of our water needs to be these darker colors. Let's do that. Make sure there's enough purple that doesn't turn green. It looks like it could turn a little bit on the green side. That's going to be just, where the trees are kind of dominating the reflection. no details are really needed, you know? Okay, so if we add some purple and white, we'll get ice. Purple and white. Just because the colors in here, we're just going to use this to fog over some of our very watery looking texture and create the look of ice. It merges the colors together. You know, like if blue and orange makes a purple, and so ice is a rougher surface, and you end up mixing a lot of the environment colors together on it. So adding this purple across my existing colors will help this to look a little more icy. Okay, and if I smooth it out so that there's not as many, doesn't have the look of ripples, especially where those icy parts are, that'll help too. Let's even put a little bit of snow on top of that ice. Maybe there's little bits of snow where those icier parts are. Right there. Then I can put a little bit of shadow on the edge here of the snowbank. So blue and purple is my snow shadow color. And here. And we'll put some purple on there. Let me check out my inbox. Tyler's got a cool picture. He's got a cool winter picture that I'm going to show off here in a minute. Tyler worked on it. He sent it in last week, I think, but I didn't get to showing it. Might be wrong about that. Okay, shadow on the snowbank, and then a gradient edge to make it go up into the light. Okay, so we just do this. It gets lighter as it goes up. Let's do a little bit more of that. Grab this blue violet color. I've got a whole bunch right here on my easel. There we go. Yeah, and maybe there's a little bit in here. Maybe we got little bits of shadow showing up there on the deep spots. And let's blend out. I'm looking at this on my camera too to get a good look of it. Different view. That's really helpful. Putting the camera on your work is a helpful thing to get a good impression of the way it looks, you know, at a moment, in a moment, like when you just first impressions that people are going to have. You know, you stare at a painting and you kind of get conditioned vision. I'm going to brighten up the sunset portion. It's kind of a fun feature of this picture. There we go. All right, we got a nice little icy brook coming through the landscape. Let's put, I feel like it could use a little more of that deep shadow color in here. Let's put a little more. Bring that over on the edge of the canvas. Don't forget about the edge. There we are. And, you know, I'm liking those dark shadows. It's a nice kind of accent. Yeah, I like that. Like, there's some significant light and shadow contrast in this one. That looks neat. Let's put, let's make this water come up to the edge a little more gracefully now. Man, gradients, they changed my life. Edges and gradients, understanding the roles that those things have in a picture. really transformed my work. I'm going to make some little footprints to finish it off. Let's put some little footprints in here. Let's take a shadow color that's going to be blue, purple, white, and we're just going to put it across here like this. I'm going to get a little more water. The paint kind of is drying quick. Okay, little dots like this. Coming closer, coming closer. I don't care about accuracy. You know, we're just going to make it look like something kind of meandered through here. Just putting little shadows. And what's going to make these look like impressions is that I'm going to put a highlight under them with something a little more orange like that sunset. So here's my highlight color. And I'm going to go to the base of each one of these and go like this. Let's go like this. Put that shadow on these kind of too big. Just a little bit of texture going up that thing. That shadow was cool when I first did it, but now it's kind of a distraction now that the picture's changed. So I'm going to get rid of that one. All right. Let's get some bright, sunny snow replaced in our picture, going back into the background. Real horizontal strokes here so that I can keep my, I didn't finish my sentence there. Keeps my perspective looking natural if I use very horizontal strokes. Anywhere I see the appearance of up and down wisp, I get rid of that. Because this is how I make my landscape look like a landscape, not like a flat wall. There we go. We got a little bit of action, a little bit of life in the picture. Now I think maybe like one little birdie or something will finish it off and we can be done. Let's do that. Let's go. A little bit more reflection. I think this reflection will look nice in here. You can get obsessed, you know. Speed painting can be not a speed painting real quick. Boy, I'm an expert at turning small tasks to big ones. Okay, there we go. I don't know if that actually improved anything, but I thought it might look good with that sunset. Let's see if we see what it looks like if we add a little more in there. Okay, now I'm going to, and this came out real orange. I don't like that. That doesn't look quite right either. Let's change that. Just drag my purple colors over these super dark orange colors. There we go. I'm running low on white. I gotta refill some of that. Okay. It was a very dark orange. It didn't fit the rest of the picture, kind of a distraction. It's good for a reflection color, I think, to come out more muddy than the source. You know, it looks more like a reflection that way, I think. There, let's get my snowbanks to look a little more like snowbanks. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm happy. I think it does the trick. Let's put a little birdie in there. I want to use pure primary purple to do a couple birds. I like to make birds with different, like they're not all in the exact same position. I like to mix it up a little bit. Okay, thanks everybody. That was fun. This is how if you want a little practical tip, but if you struggle with the fine lines of signing your name, I'll show you my way. Maybe this isn't helpful, but I'll show you what I mean. Just so you know, I'll take some purple here. I'll sign it in this nice dark purple. Add some water, and I'm going to use the very, very point of this brush. The style of brush really helps. And, this style of brush gives me a springiness, and the water will make it wick off of there real easy. And I'll take two hands and go to the bottom of the canvas. And I have shaky hands, so I really have to find a good way to do this. Okay, so I hold it very close with two hands, and then I can write like a pen, nice and slow, like this. Okay, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to go up. Oh, that's not working. That's not working as good as I wanted it to. Hang on. More water. More water, like this. Now, some people can take like a spear tip brush and do amazing work with it. But I find that very difficult. So if you find that difficult, you're not alone. Okay, so I write my name there. Here's my little last name initial. Right there, sign the picture. There we go. It's an original. I still feel like it could use some extra little snow highlights. You know what would look really good on this as these are catching the light? Here's a little highlight that'll look good. Let's get some real bright orange sunset color with this pure white. I thought it was done, but it's not done. Okay, we're gonna go here and I just want to see what it'll look like if I put some bright colors on the left edges, since I've got the light coming from that direction. Let's put some bright sunlight on there. Yeah, maybe just little edges catching the light. Boy, that I don't know if that's an improvement. I don't know. It was meant to be a little highlight, but it's kind of awkward. It doesn't look great. I think the loose free flow looked better. It was something to try. I don't love it. We'll get rid of most of it. We'll leave like tiny bits. Here's purple. Maybe just a couple of trees will be good. It was a good swing and a miss, is what you call that. Okay. Going back over my trees, getting rid of that awkward orange I put in there. But maybe in the end, that little bit of orange on the edge actually has a nice look once I went over it. Maybe we'll end up with a happy accident here. A little bit of glow to the trees. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. Man, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I see that, you know, creating is just such a fun thing to do. It's not like I'm dying to be finished. You know what I mean? It's not like that. This is probably why painting comes natural to me, because very enjoyable. There, I wanted to take those trees back a little further. Seriously, let's stop there. It's time. That was a fun little speed painting. I got all the edges wrapped up in, and again, you know, I'd say I didn't hit my 15, 20-minute timeline. I don't know, but it was fun to do it. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to take a last look at what's going on here in the chat. We got a good zoomed out view of the studio there. Oh yeah, Tyler, I forgot about your painting, my friend. Yeah, the painting I submitted this week was like that. I felt like after it was done, there was more I could do, but just decided to call it quits. Yeah, for sure. This is that painting. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Here's Tyler's picture. This is the one we're talking about. Nice work, Tyler. Beautiful. Yeah, you got the gray blue shadows on the snow. You got little lights and ornaments. Man, that's cool. And this part, that's magical. Love the child pointing up at the star. That's really cool. And the glow. Nice job with that glow. Little teddy bear. How cute is that? Nice. Nice painting, Tyler. That looks fantastic. Good job. It's great work. Looks like Cornelia has something to share with us as well. We got something else in the inbox. Let's go here and look at Joe. This is a small painting I did recently. Hope you like it. Okay, let's see if we like it. Right here. Oh, I like that. I do indeed. Nice misty atmosphere. That's got a nice feel to it. I like that. Dreamy, magical, cool colors. I like it. You know, that's how I describe it. Love the whimsical sails. You know, they kind of look staggered and flopped around like it's old. It has the old adventurous kind of a vibe to it. I like that. Thanks for sharing. Nice use of the purple and orange. One of my favorite color combinations is that orange yellow gradient mixed with the purple. I love the look of it. You'd never guess by looking at my paintings, right? That I like the look of it. I love using that. Thanks for sharing this, Cornelia, Tyler. Beautiful paintings. I like those a lot. And so time is 8:55. It is time to call it. What's your email, Joe? Send any email to share@muraljoe.com. That's my live stream email, share@muraljoe.com. And that's where Tyler and Cornelia are sending those into right now. Anybody interested? If you don't have my other email, just send it to that one. I'm going to check my normal inbox as well. And so if you're interested in, I don't know who it was that was talking about buying these, but I'm sure I've already got an email there. Share@muraljoe.com. That's it. Thanks everybody for joining me. This was a lot of fun. And big thanks to Jonathan. It was like late last night when I called and said, hey, can you co-host with me? I don't have anybody. Ben was on a trip. He was unavailable this morning. He will be back though. Okay. Thanks everybody. You have a good weekend.